Good afternoon, Gossip Talk Shows family. Is Samsa here at Gossip Talk Shows. Find your own voice, lead from within. So today, guys, the topic is your love story isn't over. It's just entering a new chapter. I hope you can hear me. So if it is your first time here at Gossip Talk Shows, my name is Namsa. I'm your love harmonist. I help my audience find their own voice, lead from within. And I'm also love harmonist means I'm a relationship coach, a matchmaker. So if you are have problems in your relationship, this is the right place. We cover lifestyle topics like a relationship. In order for a relationship to work, every area of your life has to be in the right order. So the end of a relationship can feel like the end of your story, but it isn't. The truth is your heart still holds power. It still holds purpose and possibilities. Even when love fails or people walk away, your story continues. You are not broken. You are evolving. While the chapter you actually thought would last forever may have closed, the author of your soul is still writing it. So when we meet people in life, we make plans, we visit places, and promises are made through that process. So when promises are made, dreams are created. We plan how the journey is going to begin, how we're going to go through this journey of love. But when things don't work out, it can feel like a betrayal. It can feel like your life it has been stripped away by those that promised you the world. Because when we are in love, we promise each other, I'll do anything for you. I'll be there even when life does not make sense. But when that does not work out, sometimes it can feel like your life has been stripped away. But is it the end of your love story? No, it's not. Some people, they give up because they feel that I invested so much time with this person, but they just walk away from me. But what they don't understand is their story has to begin, not it has to end. Your story has to begin. You have to keep writing your own story. When you write your own story, this is where love story begins. Because the chapter that you're writing, it doesn't end, it continues. It continues, and when it continues, you then have to acknowledge your heartbreak. Don't deny your pain. So when I'm saying your story continues, I'm not saying deny your pain. Healing cannot begin where there is a denial. Where your heart has been broken, if your spirit is wounded, your dreams shattered, pretending you are fine only prolongs your suffering. Be courageous enough to face your emotions. Cry if it feels like it. Feel the pain if you have to feel the pain. Speak to your pain. Have a relationship with it. Respond to that pain. Tell the pain what you can tolerate, what you can't tolerate to that pain. And most of all, journal your pain. Whatever you do, acknowledge that, acknowledge your pain. Denial may look strong, but truth telling is where real strength lives. You can't heal what you refuse to feel. Allow yourself to feel the pain. Allow yourself, acknowledge it. Give yourself permission to grieve. Grief is not a weakness. It's It is a secret. It means you love deeply. It means you had hope. Your needs, of course, have not met. But let yourself sit in the sorrow without shame. Don't be ashamed. Grieve the person, the plans. Allow yourself to grieve the places that you have lost. Allow yourself to grieve the person that you have lost, even in the illusion. Don't rush yourself back into productivity or perform strength for others. Honor your emotional process. Healing hasn't got a deadline. It has no deadline. Take time to heal without feeling ashamed, without feeling that I have to do this, like I have to do this. What if I'm going to meet this person again? How is it gonna feel like? It's a journey. It's part of life. Grief is part of life, guys. As long you've not, that person is still alive, you have to have gratitude that I thank God that I came out of this relationship. Some people, they are in a relationship where there is abuse, where there is emotionally and physically abuse in that relationship. Some people, they don't make it. They die through the depression, through anxiety. Some people get physically abused until that person put them to the grave. But if you have made it alive, be okay. Is the hardest thing to accept the breakup, but be okay about it. Say, you know what? It might not be the thing that I expected, but would you rather stay in a relationship? Sometimes the people walk away from us for the right reason. They walk away from us for the right reason. I come from divorced parents. I wouldn't actually suggest people to divorce because I know how it feels when your parents are divorced. It's not a very nice feeling when you grow up, you wish your parents were together, you wish you could do things with your parents, your mom and dad, but you can't. So it's something that I wouldn't suggest. But at the same time, my journey of life, I wouldn't change it for anything. I always say to my mom, if my mom and dad had stayed together, my life story would have been different. The chapter of my life would have been different. Maybe I wouldn't have the kids that I have today. Maybe I wouldn't have the life that I have today. But I'm so grateful to God that I got to live this life. Is it bad? It's amazing. So I wouldn't have had to live this life because I'm very close to my mom and I'm very close to my dad. Both of them, they would have spoiled me. Maybe I would have had to live a different life. I would have had to become a doctor. I would have had to become a lawyer. Maybe I would have had to become something. I love clothes. My mom, she's a fashion designer. Maybe I would have had to go through that line. But I'm glad that I didn't. Maybe I'll be dead by now. I would have become famous and I would have had to maybe die through different disease. But I'm glad that I'm alive. So you see, um, sometimes the life that we may grieve for, thinking I wish things would have been this, I wish things would have been that. So just allow yourself to give yourself permission to grieve, release guilty of what if and what should have. Just release that grief. God only knows our destiny. The mind can torture us after a breakup with the constant returns of what we could have done differently. But guilty is often misplaced responsibilities. You cannot control another person's choice. Learn from the past, but don't live there. Release the way of regret by replacing it with grace. Forgive yourself. You are perfect the way you are. But know that there's no such thing as perfect. You cannot be perfect. And whenever you are meant to be, you can't be perfect, but you are perfect as you are. Your life is perfect as you are, as long as you accept it and rewrite your story. That's important. Accept that some relationships are seasonal and not eternal. Not everyone is meant to walk your entire journey with you. Some relationships are meant to teach you a lesson, grow you or reveal you to yourself. When you hold on to what's meant to pass, you block what's meant to enter. Let the season end with peace in your heart and trust in your future. Trust the process. Trust God. Sometimes there are some relationships that the people, they give up on them, but they are not meant to, the relationship are not meant to break, but they break because sometimes people these days have so many options when it comes to relationship. So it's really, really important. If let's say you come and date Nomsa, along the way, Nomsa changes her mind that, you know what, I don't want to be with you. Does it mean there is something wrong with you? No, it doesn't. So meaning that your life you have to continue writing your own story. Because if you don't write your own story with God, you can write your own story with God. For me, there are some things that I have gone through in life. I've gone through human blood sacrifice. I had to grieve finding out who wanted to put me to human blood sacrifice. But through that, I had to discover my true self. Who is Nomsa? Who am I supposed to be? What if you are meant to discover the true you? What if you are meant to rewrite your story and live your own identity, not living the copy of other people? We are expected to live this life by our society, by the community. The culture is you grow up, you go to school, you go to primary school, you go to secondary school. After secondary school, you go to university. After university, you graduate. After the graduation, and now the parents are wondering, where's the boyfriend? Where are you having children? When are you getting married? That's what they do. And after that, when you get married, you buy a house, and that's the end of your life. If you have a job, you get a job, you get promoted, so you have to keep getting promoted, and that's the end of life. Have children, and that's it done. And people can feel that I have accomplished something. When I have a bigger house, I have my children, my children are doing well at school, and that's it to accomplish. But there is more to us in reality. So what if the universe or God is telling you that there is more to you? Rediscover more, rediscover who you are. What if God says that? But you, because you cannot see you cannot see the unseen. You cannot see in the realm of the spirit who you are supposed to be. For me, I had to understand this is this person who did this, they wanted me to do this. And unapologetic, I had to rediscover who I am. I was no longer wanting a man to affirm who I'm supposed to be. If you didn't make me, you cannot define who I am. Going through human blood sacrifice, it means you suffer so much pain. I suffered so much pain. But through that pain, I had to understand who I am. When men were telling me that I wasn't good enough, I wasn't worthy, because Lucifer was fighting me financially, God was telling me, Nomsa, you're worthy. You're something, there's something greater in you. When men were telling me that they need a woman, they can go on holiday with a woman who makes more money. At the time, I couldn't make money. Life was tough. I was battling my university. I wanted to become something. But men were telling me that, you know what, you're not good enough. I want more. I want a woman that can give me more. But at this moment, with your sacrifice, you can't give me more. But I had to fight because I knew there was something greater that I was fighting for. I was fighting for my life. I was fighting to have my children. I wanted to drop my children to school. I wanted to get up in the morning and wake my children up. I wanted to know if my children are okay. But if I had felt sorry for myself, if I had cried and given up life, do you think I would be here today? I had to give myself, I had to give myself a big why. Why I need to fight. Why men were not important in that moment. Why my soul was important to save my life. I don't know what you're going through, guys. I don't know what you're going through. I don't know what kind of pain you guys are facing, but I had to face mine. I had to face mine, where people were looking me down. Through that moment when people were looking me down, I knew my husband was waiting for me. I knew the man of my dreams, the man that loves me unconditional, was waiting for me. And I had no time. I wanted to rediscover my talent. I wanted to rediscover who Nomsa is. Who does Nomsa? What defines me? What makes me be the woman that I am today? What is my tomorrow going to look like in this moment? When many were telling me that I wasn't good enough, when people around me were judging me, telling me that Nomsa, you are this, Nomsa, you are that. I had to look and ask God, who am I in your eyes? Who have you created me to be? Show me who I'm supposed to be. Everybody else has told me this is who I am. Many have told me that I'm not good enough. Friends have told me that I'm not good enough. I had friends that said, Nomsa, you can't hang out with us, go out for coffee whenever we want to, because I had started to do my business. So you don't fit in our category. We want people who are available when we want to go for coffee or when we want to hang out. We want you to be a bit available. But in my life, it changed. I had become, God was showing me who I'm supposed to be. So I said to God, who am I supposed to be? I'm going to be that person. I don't care what people think of me as a person. And I will walk with you, God. You show me your glory. Show me. May your glory be glorified through me. Did it hurt? No, it doesn't. When you choose when you choose to walk in truth, not in lies, it doesn't hurt. Because you are no longer unapologetic. You are no longer walking in someone else's lane. You're walking in your own lane. You do what God wants you to do. You're not doing things to be accepted for people to like you. You're not doing that. You're not doing that. But when you do what you have to do, because that in that moment is who you are meant to be. So I had to be the person that God wants me to be. And I knew the battles that I was facing. So I don't know what you are facing. So if a man has walked out, or a woman has walked out, how do you begin that love story? Or does it has to end? So that's the question you have to ask yourself, guys. Does your love story has to end, or does it need to continue? I'm not saying I'm not saying you have to um, like leave another relationship. When you're starting, like when you rewrite your story, is acknowledging that this is what the pain, this is what I'm going through. You forgive yourself for mistake made in love. And also, may you stay too, maybe you stayed too long. Maybe you gave too much. Maybe you ignored the red flags, but that's okay. You were born to be your best with the love and understanding you had, the love and understanding you had. Now you know better. But how can you choose it? Like now you can choose differently. Self-forgiveness is not optional. It's a foundation that you have to make sure that your foundation is written based on what God wants you to be. Forgive them not for their sake, but for your peace. You may never say sorry. They may never admit the damage, but you don't need the apology to release your bitterness. Forgiveness doesn't make them right. It makes you feel holding on to anger. Like when you hold on to anger, guys, it keeps the tether to your soul. Let go for your own sake. Let go for your own sake. Write down what you've learned from your past relationship. This isn't about blame. It's about insight. Ask yourself, what did I learn about my needs, my worth, my triggers, my blind spots? Write everything down. Turn your wounds into wisdom. This reflex becomes the blueprint for healthier love ahead. Let go of illusion of imperfection in love. There is no such thing as perfect. Love isn't a fairy tale, guys. It comes with pain. It comes with its daily choices. The right relationship won't be perfect, but it will be honest, respectfully, and safe. When you stop chasing perfect, you start embracing real. Love is not flawless, it's faithful. Love is faithful. Understand the ending are part of divine direction. Sometimes God closes doors we're still trying to reopen. When the door has been closed, ask yourself, why has this door been closed? What you thought was rejection may actually be protection. You were rooted for a season. They lost heart, but it may have saved your destiny. Trust the bigger picture that is still unfolding, because we don't know how our tomorrow is going to look like. When this chapter closes, close the old chapter with the gratitude for what it taught you. Bitterness drains, but gratitude heals. Thank the experience for the love it gave, even if it didn't last. Thank pain for the strength it gave you. Gratitude doesn't erase the past. It transforms into peace, healing, and rebuilding yourself. So you have to understand the power of healing and the power of rebuilding yourself, guys. When a relationship doesn't work, it doesn't mean it has to. I've met people like who say, you know, sir, I don't want to enter any relationship because I was hurt. But what we don't know is, guys, everyone has their own bloodline story. We don't know what that bloodline carries. We don't know uh, the the pain that people carry. Some people say, I know my wife, I know my husband. I always say to people, you don't know what someone is thinking. You may know a little bit about themselves, but you don't get to people's mind every single day and know what they are thinking. You don't know the pain that the people have gone through in life. Myself, I've gone through so much pain. But when I come on social media, guys, do I talk about my whole pain? No, I don't. I talk about some of it, but some of it, I don't talk about it. because I feel that I don't have to share everything with anyone. Some pain, I share it with God. So you don't know what that person is going through. So when you meet that person, when things don't go according to plan, don't bruise yourself with wounds. When you're wounded, don't keep wounding yourself. All you have to do is accept that, okay, my needs have not met this at this moment, but what can I do better? And remember, guys, healing is actually important. Healing is really, really is the most important thing in this world. When we work on our healing, when we work on what has worked in the past, what hasn't worked, how can I change things differently? How can I choose a different spouse? How can I make my life better? And also, we have to know that sometimes the chapter that we think that is ours, sometimes it's not what God wants for us. Sometimes it's not. Like myself, guys, there are some people that I grow up with that they know me. And when they come to, like when I come here as a person, they're like, I thought I knew Nomsa that by this. But that's why I'm like, don't stay in bitterness. Close the chapter that needs to be closed. Reconnect with your true identity outside of relationship. It's important to reconnect with yourself. Who are you when you are not loving someone else? Many people lose themselves in love and forget their individuality. Now is the time to rediscover yourself, your values, your dreams, your calling. You are a whole on your own. Stand in that truth. What helps me, guys, to stand in that truth is knowing that when I know that when I know my identity, I know that in order for me to know who I am, I have to ask God. I have had friends saying, Nomsa, you should do this, you should do this. And I was like, I don't do that. For me, I pray about it. I pray about things. I ask God to reveal the truth about my life, nurture my spirit life, pray, meditate, and seek God's peace. So heartbreak shakes your foundation, guys. Let your spiritual life anchor you again. Spend time in prayer or meditation. Read the scriptures, connect with the divine. There is peace that suppresses understanding, and your spirit knows how to find it. Your spirit knows how to find happiness. Your spirit knows how to find peace. Allow yourself to find that happiness and allow yourself to find peace. Practice self-care, body and soul. Your healing must be holistic, is nurturing food. Move your body with love. Rest deeply. Do things that calm your nervous system. Tend to your emotional wounds with the same care you would show physical injury. Replace negative self-talk with affirmation of love and worth. Know that you are loved. Know that you're worthy. I can't tell you how much you are loved and how much you are worthy. That has to come from you. Some people want people to let them know how worthy they are. You are worthy and you are loved. So that is truly, truly important. That is really, really important. Respect negative, like replace respect. You know, when you respect yourself and you respect your life, is when you replace negative self-talk with the affirmation of self-love and God's love. Surround yourself with people who uplift and inspire you. Sometimes you might have to leave some people behind. Healing requires support. Spend time with people who speak truth and life over you. Avoid the environment that drains you or reopen old wounds. You need the soul feeling, connections in this season of life. Seek therapy, coaching, counseling if needed. You don't need, you don't have to walk this path alone. A good therapist or a coach can help you unpack pain, rebuild your confidence, and rewrite your internal beliefs about love. Ask for help. If not, it's not weakness, but it is wisdom. Here at Ngosi Talk Shows, Hope Spring Eternal Introduction Agency is a matchmaking introduction agency. We do relationship coaching. We can help you to take your life to where you need to be. Revisit your passion and hobbies. What makes you feel so alive? Those things are important. Love may have eclipsed your sense of joy. Individuality. Return to the things once lift you up. Music could be music, writing, cooking, dancing. So these activities can restore peace of your soul. Learn to enjoy your own company again. You are not alone. You are with yourself. Your own company can become beautiful again. Take yourself on a solo date. Read in the park. Sit in the silence. You are not, you are enough, and you deserve your own attention. Know that you are not alone. Before I understood that every person get allocated their own angel, I used to think that I'm alone. When I'm sad, I used to think that I'm alone, but I didn't understand that God is always with me. I didn't understand that when I'm on my own, I'm not really alone, but God can keep me some company and take away my loneliness. Reframe singleness and preparation, not punishment. The reason the season of singleness is not a penalty. It's a preparation. It's where you refine your identity, align your values, and make a space for the love that will truly work for you. Singleness is a sacred steward it wisely. It's not like you can't feel ashamed about it. Celebrate small wins in your healing journey. Did you set a boundary today? Celebrate it. Did you avoid texting them? That's progress. Healing is a series of small victories that lead to bigger freedom. Honor your effort even on the quiet days. Redefine what love means to you now. When you are like feeling alone, what does love means to you? Because love may feel different. With all you've learned, how has your view of love changed? Write a new definition. Let it be rooted in truth, safety, faith, and purpose. You deserve a love that lives, not break. Set clear boundaries for future relationships. Boundaries protect your soul. Know your emotional, physical, and spiritual limit. Be clear about what is accepted, what's not accepted. What's not. Boundaries are not walls. They are doors of dignity. So be clear of that, what you can accept, what you can't. Create a vision of the kind of love you want to build. And remember that you have to be that, guys. Don't just hope for love. Design it. When you design love, you design the spouse you are looking for. Become that yourself. Write down the qualities, habits, and values you want in your next relationship. Vision attracts intention. Without vision, you risk settling again. So don't settle for less. Write love letter to yourself, to your future self. Speak to the version of who is in a healthy, thriving relationship. Tell her what you admire about her. Encourage her to profess her joy. You are speaking life into your future. Guys, learn to trust yourself in choosing a partner. Trust and believe. You've grown. You're wiser. Don't let one bad chapter make you doubt your discernment forever. Trust that you will choose better next time because now you know better. And don't rush. Patience creates lasting love. There is no reward in speed. True love is worth the wait. Let it unfold naturally. Anything that forces won't last. You are not late, you are right on time. Stay open to unexpected ways love might arrive. God may surprise you. The right person might not look how you expect it to arrive or how you planned. Stay open. Stay discerning. Let go of the checklist and hold on to standard. What standards do you hold? Build emotional intelligence. Learn to listen, communicate deeply. Love requires more than chemistry. It needs the emotional skills. Learn how to express yourself without blame. Learn to listen without defense. This is the soil where love thrives. That is important, guys. Build emotional, like practice vulnerability. Read love requires openness. So real love requires openness. When we are open to what could be, real love enters. Let God not fear. Lead your heart. Let God lead you. Fear will keep you stuck. Faith will lead you forward. Let God write your love story. Trust that He knows how to pair purpose with passion and peace. So many people say, they called me too much. That Nomsa, you are too much. Nomsa, you are this, you are this. But what they did not understand is that I allowed God in my heart to write my story. I allowed God and I said, God, you know what? I don't know who I'm supposed to be. And I don't know how my tomorrow is gonna look like. But then I said, God, write my own story. Write my own story. Now, when you ask it to write your own, God, write your own story. Some people may not understand your story. They may say, you know what, we don't understand. But write your own story. It's important to write, to let God lead you. I allowed God to lead me. Is it an easy thing to do? It's not. Surrendering what I thought I know. I said, God, I don't want to walk. My ways don't work, but lead me to your ways. Give me a man that will make sense in my life. A man that will accept me for who I am, where I don't have to change. I love God. When I get up in the morning, all I do is when I get up in the morning, I have to meditate. I have to pray to God. I have to prepare for my day. I have to speak how my day, God, I have to ask God. I have to plead the blood of Jesus to raise a voice for me. If my day doesn't go well, I have to ask God to intervene. In that day, I have to ask God to guide me through life, guide me through my business. I have to ask God to guide me through my finances, to guide me through my children. And I have to request God and say, God, this is the life that I have. I'm not happy with it, but this is the life that I require. And that life, God will then show me, for you to require this life, you have to go through this. And before, I wanted God to make me a millionaire. And now I understand why He didn't. I wanted God to make me a billionaire, a millionaire, and I understand why He didn't. Because my life was not what is meant to be. I had been put on the cross to die for somebody else. My life has been re-altered by Satan. So I don't know what your story is, what your love story is. But all I know is you can ask God to rewrite your story. Whatever the story that has been written about you, the story that people has altered, Satan altered my story, ancestors altered my story. They cried out for my identity to be given to somebody else. They cried out to destroy my marriage. They cried out to say we are destroying this child's marriage so we can get what we want. But God said, no, you cannot take her life. Because I was able to speak, I was able to fight, and I was able to choose God in my life. And God said no to my death. And for him saying no to my death, I had to ask him, now God, you have said no to my death. Help me to write my story. And it was clear that my story, I had to go back to my childhood when I was a child. I had to rewrite my story then, who Nomsa was. Unapologetic, some people did not recognize that Nomsa, the original Nomsa. They recognized the Nomsa that would try to fit in. When I walk into a man, I try to fit in. I try to speak their language. I try to say, honey, I love you. Even if I didn't feel okay, I'll say, honey, I'm happy. You make me happy. Even if I didn't feel complete with my own life, not with them. Because nobody completes you. Nobody can love you more than you love yourself. You have to love yourself and then share that love with someone. I had to pretend it to be something that I'm not. But when God entered my life, I was no longer pretending. I was becoming me. The norms that is being me. When the ancestors were telling me that they were going to do this, they were going to do this. When Satan was telling me he was going to do this, I had to have authority to say, no, this is how my life is going to be written. And I had to ask God, what do you think? When Satan comes in and tell me that he's going to do this to me, I say, God, what do you think? Raise a voice for me. But that people did not recognize it. Everyone had to have a say. Everyone had to say, Nomsa, you speak rubbish, you speak crap, you speak this. They had to be amazing through my glory. But I had to say, God, show me my glory. Bring me the me that people will not recognize. Bring the me that when I walk different. When the men that I've dated, when they look at me, they'll say, I don't recognize that woman. Who is she? And then they'll have to figure out that her name is Nomsa. But I don't know. I no longer know her identity. I no longer know who that woman is because she has no chain. But she's living her original self. She doesn't put on her face no personality. She's walking in her own lane. So I don't know what you're going through, guys. I don't know who broke your heart. Some people take everything, they enter your life. They take everything that you have and they leave you with nothing. But when that happens, some people will say, I don't think I can move on. It's life. It's material. Get over it. And do the work. And show that person that what you took from me, God is going to multiply it 100 times. Get promotion. Educate yourself. It's not easy. It's not easy. Educate yourself. Do what you have to do and don't compete. Whatever you do, never compete with your ex. Never try to find out what they get up to. Let them date whoever they want to date, but walk in your own lane. Because who you become, when you become what God wants you to become, your ex will not recognize you. They will not recognize you. And they will thank you and say, I thank God that I left you because the true you showed up. They will thank you that actually I made the right decision. Do you think when people that I've dated, when they look at me, they're like, oh, I recognize Nomsa? They don't. all they recognize is the face, but they can't connect with me because I'm no longer walking I'm not longer walking in a lane where I want people to accept me. If you don't want me, you cannot. If you don't want me around you, I don't want to be around you. I give you love. I give you blessings. I walk away. So those are important things, guys, that you have to learn to walk in your own lane. When you go through pain, when people put you through pain, people tell you that you're not good enough. Say, if I'm not good enough for you, I am good enough for me. I am good enough for my mother, for my father. My mother who gave birth to me, when she sees me, she says, Gary, I thank you so much for giving me that child. Thank you so much for helping me to raise my child. Unapologetic. They're grateful for that life. They're grateful for your life. If the relationship doesn't work, don't write yourself off your love life and say, I'm not going to do this again. I'm done. Don't write it off. Just, God, let your will be done in my life. Whatever, God, you have prepared for me, let your will be done in my life, in my children's life, if you have children. Let your will be done. Write my children's story to what is supposed to be and ask Satan to back off. Get thee, Satan, behind my children. Get thee, Satan, behind my life. If you're watching Gossip Talk Shows, guys, from any part of social media, whether you're watching on YouTube, please do subscribe to our channel. If you're watching from Facebook, please, we have two groups in Gossip Talk Shows and Unique Billionaire Mindset. Join the group. If you are looking for love, guys, or you are looking for relationship coaching, please do sign up to our channel and do sign up to our channel and be part of the family. God bless you guys and live with grace. I have to go for now.